Hello, Living in Bold Vlog, September 19th, Thursday. It's 2:23 p.m. right now. I didn't do a video yesterday because I was working trying to finish I did 3 books over the last couple of days. Which I just had to get on my website. And I think eventually you should get all of the Enlightenment books up. But yeah, I got Montesquieu, and then I got the Book of Enki, and then Trilateral Commission's book, Democracy in Crisis. And then I started working on my timeline again. Super excited that I only took a day off, and then I was working and watched some of the TV show The Dark Crystal with my fiance. Only this time I was watching it with my cell phone. I mean my TV. I was watching it with my other computer the other day, and since I got it back from the shop, they replaced the battery. I haven't had sound on it, and I don't know why, because it shows that the sound is on. So when I watch with her, I just listen to her through her phone. But that's not weird. I was watching it on my big screen just for a little bit while I was working on my computer here for a little bit. And then but then after I was like, I never get on Netflix. I was looking around, and I saw there was this show called can't remember the name of it, but it's a reality show where people race their cars against each other. It was really it was super interesting. I hope they have another one where it's more strict racing, because this one had a lot to do with drifting, and that'd be cool. And then they made them go through little storage containers, so the people had to slow down when they had wider cars. And I want to see a reality show where it's more pure racing. That'd be cool, because then you could really compare with different courses. But it was just like getting from here to there. Then you could compare the performance of cars. So, but see, I got hooked on that and watched the whole thing, kind of skipping through the good parts. But that was most of the night. So yeah, by the end I was tired, and I don't know, maybe I feel guilty about doing that. So I didn't do the videos. So then I slept and got up today, and kind of late. I'm kind of like halfway nocturnalized, and I'm working here on my timeline. It's uh, I'm preparing the links. I'm attaching the links, the link ID, to the horizontal part, the vertical part of the timeline where the kings are. And so that all I have to do when I make the horizontal part is to click on the kings to make the horizontal, and it's already ready for the bottom. So I think before I prepped them where you click every single date next to a king, and it takes you up to their kingdom. And so yeah, so I think I try to do all the kings I can find, kings where I make the ID, and I'm also working on the links to get the kingdoms across. And also when I look at stuff and I see that stuff hasn't been done, like completed, I will attach the proper border and font to certain things. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how long it'll take me to get through IDing these kings. Once I do that, that's a big project, very time consuming. Once I do that, I can make the horizontal part of the kings, and then they'll be linkable. And once the timeline is linkable, I can then use it to then zoom around and find the other parts that I need to catch up on it and finish it. Yeah, and then that might, if I can finish all that linking really well, hopefully it'll motivate me to get on Google Earth and build all of the kingdom areas, and then attach those to my timeline, and then use that to find out where all the other things are, and put them, all the things, battles and castles and cathedrals into their proper kingdoms with that. So yeah, I don't know how long that'll be. I've been listening to lots of different things. YouTube, lectures about ancient DNA and Indo-European. I was just heard one kid talk about oops, can't remember it, but just different theories and stuff having to do with evolution. I'm really high right now. I can't remember stuff because of that. I got kind of high right before I did the video. I got really high and then I was working a little bit and then I started the video. So I'm going to continue on this all day. Maybe in a few days I'll be able to get all these links done, man. Be amazing for the timeline. And of course, there's other stuff on the timeline I have to build. Like, I never finished haplogroups. There's like 50 haplogroups, and I got most of the way through. And I can find out how far away I got through just on my timeline and seeing how far along they went and looking on the haplogroup page and just tracing it. There's so much you can do with that, you know. I want to utilize haplogroups and all the stuff I can find about histories of everything based on, and then the histories of all the different things and archaeology and everything to figure out, to actually paint a story in the past for the Indo-Europeans and everything farther back too. So there's a lot to do with the timeline, and if I do burn out like in a month on the timeline, I think that's when I'll probably go in and put the rest of the Enlightenment books on my site. It won't take long. Computer's fast and I have good method now to do it. Yeah, but there's so much more that I have to do that I don't even want to think about the other stuff. But I mean, I can feel it's coming along. I think more people or at least over the last couple of days, more people have been going to my website. I just looked at the analytics now and it said 15,000 every 2 weeks. And it's been hovering at like 13 before. Once I get to 100,000, which is about 15,000 what I saw now, 73,000 page views a month. So, I think, my timeline is going to get to the point. It's going to get to the point where my website viewership is going to go like this because it's going to get useful. And I think that's whenever my timeline becomes useful, when everything works. And once that happens, I'm at 73 now. Once I get to 100, I can make money off my timeline with AdThrive. And they already said that they'd accept me. So, so if I'm to make money, I need to go fix all the other stuff on my site. But I've been feeling really confident about being able to finish the other stuff on my site really quickly. I was thinking about my fighter levels page. It's part of my whole idea about rebuilding Rome. You have people do racing on the tracks, and then you have people do fighting again, just like with the gladiators. And then you have theaters, people giving presentations in the theaters all over the place because Rome is full of theaters. And in the fighters, you just have fight suits, but you have fighter levels too. So I was going to build that, and that's one of those pages I just started. But so if I could go in and like just hammer in like a week, finish fighter levels, make it presentable, go in and hammer my own personal lineage for like a week or two, make it, you know what I mean? Like, I'm hoping maybe this stuff will come together quickly, So but I am also super curious to see how serendipitous everything's going to be, like, am I going to hit 100,000 by the time I feel like my website's ready? Am I going to, get my website looking good right before I hit 100,000, so we'll see. But, maybe I'll hit 100,000 within the year, but like I said, it's going to be like a bell curve. So, who knows when that bell comes? Because I really don't know how long it'll be. But it seems like it won't be that long at all until my timeline's links are going. Once the links are popping, it's there. It's workable. And then after that, once I get the Google Earth, it's super workable. So, looking forward, it's going to come together. But I'm still kind of in the caves, doldrums working. But I'm totally used to it. I love just listening to my stuff and working. That's when you're in the zone. When you're working, you don't have to use too much of your brain because you already know what you need to do with the timeline. And you're also being able to lend as much of your brain as you need to pay attention to what somebody's saying in a church or in a lecture and then thinking about it, So I'm in a good state like that right now because everything's so easy on my timeline. Anyways, I've got stuff to hitting on 10 minutes, so talk to you tomorrow.